Good evening everybody, and welcome to Inspiration Wednesday with Ruth Blackett, Crafting for Friends. Hope everybody's okay today. I've not been back very long. Been looking after my grandson. We just had a swimming lesson tonight and we got back, and it's just, time just goes away. But fortunately I'd prepared a little bit earlier today, so hopefully you'll come and join me in a minute, and if not, watch me on catch up and get some ideas. I'm not going to apologise that I used this set, some of the stamps last time, because they're one of my favourite ones at the minute, but I just wanted to show some different techniques. Evening Sharon, evening Annette, nice to see you. So yes, I'm going to show a couple of techniques. It's going to be messy play tonight. I'm going to use some refills, stamping up refills with the ink, but I will tell you how you could do this watercolouring without it. Hi Vicky, nice. Thank you for coming to join me this evening. So we're going to play with two sets. We're going to play with one from the old catalogue. It's not the old catalogue, it's the annual catalogue, and that's the Ocean Front, and the one from the current catalogue, which is by the bay, Seaside Bay. And we're going to do some watercolouring as well, so we're going to use some different tools tonight. So apart from me resting my chin on this, let's move the camera. Sorry, you're just going to get dizzy for 1 minute. One little tiny second. Oh, and then I've lost you all. Where's my page gone? Sorry, I won't. I'll take it off the wonk and you won't see. 2 weeks to go before the room gets all sorted, well, starts to be redone, so then I will not have to play about with my camera, because I won't have to move it each time, because it will be in a certain position. So every time I do the lives I have to reset my camera and redo it, like now. So I'm just twisting it round a bit. Okay, so this is Seaside Bay. Now I've knocked the mouse. Seaside Bay, which is the birds and this, and those of you who are coming to class on Saturday will see it again. And then Ocean Front, which is this one, which sort of does some of the scenery. I am upside down. Okay. Am I still upside down in it? Could be upside down. Camera. Am I still upside down? Sorry, am I still upside down? Oh, thank you. Hopefully I won't be upside down anymore. So what I'm going to start off with is a bit of fluid watercolour paper. You can use other watercolour papers. This has got slightly textured top. Evening Julia. So we're going to get this wet first of all. So I've got one of my spritzers, and I've got water in this one. I use alcohol in the other one when I mix it up with stuff sometimes, so but I just wanted water tonight. And then I've got my little palette, not done by Stampin' Up, by something else. There we go. And I've got my water paint brushes. You got 3 sizes in these. You got the wide one, the medium, and the small. I'm going to probably go. I tend to be very much a medium brush. Small if I'm doing something slightly daintier. The one thing with these though, if you've got these, they work. To open them, you go anti-clockwise, not clockwise, and that confuses you when you first get these. But it's any problems, if you've got them, let me know. I'm not going to put that one on there. So these other water painters. So that's off ready. Got my water in it already, but I am going to have some separate water here, which I've already got. And just because that just makes my life a bit easier for cleaning it, don't have to keep wiping it on something. And then we're going to use some re-inkers. So I've got some re-inkers. These come in little bottles like this. All the colours Stampin' Up! Do come in re-inkers too, and what you can use these for sort of ink-based techniques, but also once you've got the stamps, they are really good to help re-ink your stamps, your ink pads rather, not re-ink your stamps, re-ink your ink. Just going to see if I can find. So for example, this is my pool party, and then I've got my pool party ink, and this you put a few blobs on there, just flatten it off and let it, and that will be re-inking it. So you can use these pads for ages and ages, but we're going to use this for an inking technique tonight. So I'm going to use pool party, so I'm just going to put a little blob in my palette. I'm going to use So Saffron, unless I've got to remember which order I've done these in, and I'm going to use Balmy Blue. So I've got those, put those in my, now they all look, if you look at them like that, you wouldn't know which is which, so you do have to sort of try and remember which order you put them in. And then I'm just going to put a tiny little dash of Sahara Sand in one, and I don't need very much of that at all, so I'm literally just putting a little blob of that, and I'm not going to use the green. So that's the preparation. We're now ready to make a mess. So I'm going to spritz this using this, so your water painter, and just do it from above, and it should, you probably can't see how wet it is at the minute, but you will see it. There we go. There's some bit, oh look, it would help if I got the pointing thing. So I've got water everywhere apart from on the paper. No, I haven't. I've got the water on the paper. And then I'm just going to start with my So Saffron, and I'm just literally going to wash it across the bottom. You can see the colour starting to come. And because I've made it wet first, it's just going to spread so much easier. My brush was wet anyway, but just to put it, now where you put the ink on, it will be a little bit darker, so just wash it across. I'm going to go up a little bit more. You can see sort of it's slightly lighter that side, because that's where so I'm going to bring some darker in that side now. I'm going to do this about a third. Bring it right to the edge. So this is nice and wet now. I've got yellow paint on that, so I'm just going to give it a little wash in my water, and then I'm going to go onto the pool party, which I hope is what I put in next. Yeah, it's more of a greeny blue, so you can and then just watch that. It's quite relaxing painting. I made a terrible mess the other day while I was practicing doing some stuff. It was really funny. And after being at the swimming pool this evening, I thought we'd have a bit more beach theme tonight. Seaside theme. So it doesn't look very, all it looks is very blotchy and blob that minute, but it settles down. And I'm going to bring some of this blue just into the yellow, just a little bit. So, and you can see it's running up to the neck. You may be able to see it's just sort of running up, but that's fine, because I don't want this to be, I want this to be slightly mottled, not perfect, because it's going to be my background for my cards. I'm just going to have to squirt a little bit more if I want the next one. So now I'm going to go on to the Balmy Blue, which is this darker one, and you'll see it's sort of, when you see it against the other one, you can see there's a difference in the colour. But when you look at it in this, you can't see it, so you may just even need to bring it up a little bit. Oh, sorry, you can't see that sort of bit on there, just to give you an idea of what you're. And then you can always mix these as well. You don't have to keep them the same, but I've used these like this. Let's bring a little bit more. So wet the water paper first, then have pick up your ink and get it across. This is for the background. If you were painting, you'd do it quite differently, and you can always darken it, but you can't actually lighten it very well. So I can see where I've put a little bit more pressure there. So I'm just going to put a little bit more dark on there. And that is it for now. What I will do is, this is now soaking wet, so you can't use it for your card making at the minute. You need to leave it to dry. Now you could air dry it with one of the dryers, but I happen to have one I made earlier because I thought that would be easier. So this is my card that has dried. I've got a very wet surface, so I'm just going to take that off and put another one on. One I had ready prepared. So, and I just wanted to put a little tiny bit of, oh, that's what I was going to show you, and I didn't put it on this one, but the Sahara sand, I was just going to put a slight bit in, just to give the sand sort of like another colour with it. So something like that, because that would be useful, but I haven't done it on this particular one. But I'm going to cut this down now. I'm going to cut it to, what did I say I could cut it to, because it's just under 18, so if I do it just under 9, that will give me 2 pieces of card, so that makes 2 cards. Hello Carol, nice to see you. So there we go. Now I do need a new blade in this, but I couldn't find one in a hurry just now, so there's my piece of card that I'm going to work on. And I'm going to put some scenery on this now. So I'm going to use my stamps from the ocean front, which is this one. And these are photopolymer stamps, so they need to have a spongy, something like a piercing mat. Let's see that, my dirty secret. I'll pop that onto there, and then I've got the rocks from this, because that's what I want to do first of all. I'm just going to crib on my, so I want the big one, and I'm going to make sure when you put your photopolymer ones on, just make sure that you've got the right side up, because the other day I had it the wrong way round and it just there was a lovely horrible blob. But this one is a textured one. It's a distinctive ink, so that will come up as sort of different depths of colour. And I'm going to use Sahara sand for this, which is the other one. And so this is my rock, and I'm going to have my rock about here. There's my rock, and then there's a little 2 rocks, so we're going to have 3 rocks altogether, and I'm just going to layer that beside it like that. So that's 3 rocks. Then I'm going to come in with some evening evergreen and the foliage, the foliage for this one. So we're just going to pop that in front of this. So this then covers up some of the overlap. And then there's a little tiny one with this with the grass, small grass on it, which has entirely disappeared from in front of me. No, did I put it in? Yes, I did. There it is, hiding behind. So another one I'm going to just do with the evening evergreen, and I'm going to pop that over here, and so I'm just going to put that on 3 times there, just so it looks like all this grass is growing up around my little rocks here. And then I'm going to move on to the other set I've got out, and that's this one. That's it. And I'm going to get these 3 little birds on here. This is a really mixed up card, but I think I'll like it. So here are my 3 birds. They are joined together, but there is a die that cuts them all out, and they all come out separately. So let's stamp those onto a piece of card. So because they are red cling rubber, then they don't need to go on the cushion mat. And I'm going to do these in early espresso. So undo stamp, and then my 3 little birds. And it's not going to matter where they are because I'm going to cut them out. And then I'm going to use my blend. So we're using lots of different things tonight. It's like your whole craft room can be used for this one card. That should be fun. So I'm going to use the crumb cake, light crumb cake, dark crumb cake, and pool party, believe it or not. So literally just going to colour my little birds in. So just give them a little. These really don't take very long to colour in, and they don't need a lot of fuss or anything. It's just that they a little bit of dark. Then I'm going to put my blue on next, my pool party, and what that does, it just brings out a little bit of, whoops, and then my light crumb cake again. So my little bird, let's see if you can see it on the camera, it's not all brown, but it's not all blue either. And then I do the same with the others, but to save you watching me colour that in, I then would cut it out. The trick with cutting this one out with these dies is when you put it over your birds, if you look for lining it up, if you just look where the claws come on the birds, they come through those little 2 holes there and there and one there, and that means you've lined them up ready to cut them out. Just a little trick I learnt when I was cutting mine out. And here are my upside down babies. Let's get the other one. So here they are. So 1, 2, 3. So there they are. So they are going to come and move onto my card in a minute. But first of all, what I do want to do is put my happy birthday on here, because this is going to be a happy birthday card. And I'm going to use really big happy birthday on this one. And I am going to use this set, the biggest wish, happy, and the big bold happy, and the sort of more lowercase writing for birthday. So that's going to go across my sky and my sea. I am going to put some, once I've got this on, then I'm going to put some other bits on, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus for this, because that happy and that going onto watercolour paper is a bit of a nightmare, because there's a little bit of a dent. So for those of you who haven't got a Stamparatus, absolutely brilliant piece of equipment, wouldn't be without mine, and I know lots of other people wouldn't be without theirs either. What it does, it gives you a way of positioning your stamps in that way. Oh, the other one's missing. Okay, let's just give that a bend down, because I don't want that going up in this. So I'm going to start off with the happy, and I'm going to do that first, and then I'll go to the birthday one after that. And I'm going to use early espresso, which I've already kept open from before. Do let me know if you can't see. I think you can see me. Trying not to put my hand over everything, and now I'm going to have to move the thing because it won't shut because the camera's too close. So I'm going to push that right down, give it a little push, and you can see, you can probably see that hasn't really taken very well, which is why I wanted to do it on this, because I have the opportunity to do it again and again and again until I'm happy with my happy. And again, I've got to do it. It just takes time on the watercolour to build up, and I think I was very brave even trying it, but it does. Give it a little press, as long as you haven't got ink on it. Now that's getting much better, and probably one more will completely do it. I don't know whether anybody's putting any more comments on. Please do, if you're still watching, or if you're watching the telly at the same time, let me know what you're watching. Right, I think I'm happy with happy, and then I'm going to take this off, just give it a quick clean, take the happy off, and then work out where my birthday bit's going to go. And I think my birthday is going to go just about there. Okay, so just pick that one up, and again with this, just ink it up. Sorry, you can't see me inking. Oops. Oh, guess what's happened? Look, the birthday's landed on there and stuck. Oh, thanks, Sharon. Well, I hope you didn't see that one. Look, so now I've got to clean that, because there's no way I can put that on with. Oh, for goodness sake. Today has been one of those days, you know. I don't know. I think I'll get out the other side of the bed tomorrow, just in case. Right, so if in doubt, try again. Let's hope this time it won't come off. I'm going to make sure I pushed it on a little bit harder this time. It's obviously stuck to the... There we go. Yes. Need to go do this a little bit more. Press this in the bits that there we go. I am quite happy with that now. So that's my happy birthday. They're my little rocks. Got my little birds ready. They're all coloured in. But what I did want to do was give myself a little bit of a horizon. So I was going to use my, not my blend, my party marker, and I was just going to put just a little bit on there and pick it up with my, sorry you can't see that, can you? Pick it up with my pen. So I've just put it from my marker on there, because I just wanted to sort of give a line across. Now you can barely see it, but I didn't want it too dark, but I gave it a little bit of a line to look like that was my horizon. I've then got my chalk marker, wherever that may be. Yeah. So I've got my chalk marker, my Stampin' Up! Chalk marker, and I'm just going to sort of put some chalk marks, which I don't think you'll be able to see too much, but sort of like, you know, when you get the waves coming in and you get a little bit of foam on the top of them. This is what this is to help represent, and it does, when it dries, I could see what a difference it made. So just a sort of a few, no, you really can't. I can assure you that you can see it. And then the other thing with this is to put a little bit in like a cloud. So you could, if you wanted to, sort of when you're first doing it, put some clouds in, but just a little bit, just to give it and then when, so I've got a couple of cloudy bits, but I've used my chalk marker, or there is white, there is also some white ink if you wanted to use that, as an alternative. And then I'm going to whiz and get my sailing boat, because on my sailing boat, on the sailing boat one, there is some birds like this, that little birds flying, and I've just decided I'm going to put some birds on this one as well. So just going to use those with some early espresso, and just get my mat because it's a photopolymer one, and I'm going to have my birds in the sky, just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. Sorry, I'm having a moment. Right, so there we go. So that's, now where are my little birds, because they're going to go and sit on the front, and that's what's going to start making this card be a little bit more. So a few dimensionals. The mini ones are best for these birds because they're quite tiny. So let's see if I can find my mini ones. Yeah, they're much smaller than the normal size ones. So I'm just going to pull those off. And one is going to be more than a... Oh no, that wasn't quite right, Ruth. That wasn't... Left the little bit off the back. It's gone on it. That's what I wanted, didn't it? So I wanted one flat. Just realised I was going to have one flat. Ooh. The glue's coming out very fast, so I've just wiped a little bit of that off. That one's flat. Then that one can go in front of it. And then my other one over here can have a little... That can go up. So gradually we've built up this picture with our seascape using the inks, the refills, and the pens, and we used a chalk marker, we've used stamperators for our happy birthday, we've used another set for the birds, and so we got our scene and everything's all ready. So to make this up, I'm going to use a piece of Sahara sand cardstock to stick it to, and just need to make that just slightly shorter. So I just give that a little trim on my trimmer. How far was that? That was 12.5. So if I make this just over 13, I think the width. And what was the width of this one? Check. 9. So if it's just over 9, yeah, that's about 9.5. So it was, the width was right, but the length wasn't. So then I can pop that. Oh, now cut off too much. No, because I just want a narrow edge around it. Oh. Yes. Actually, now it's just, let's take a trim off that one as well. Why not? Why not trim it all down? There we go. That's better. I think that was a little bit. Now this glue is really quite a new one, so it's really going for it. And this is the wet Tombow glue. Gives you a little bit of manoeuvre time with water. When you've watercoloured something and using watercolour paper and you've inked it, it can curl a bit, so you sometimes need to keep pressing and be persistent with it. And then hopefully I should have a white card. White card, Ruth. You did have a white card. Right, we'll find one in our box. There we go. There's a white card. Let's go up a little bit. And then I'm just going to mount this on the front of this. So layer it up, just check that's there. And then my last touch for this is I found in my box some of the little pebble things we had last year, and I'm going to use them, even though I'm afraid you can't get them anymore, but they're just so good for this sort of thing. And we did it with when we made some scenes at the big craft day we did last spring. Can you believe it? It's March now. Soon be saying it's winter. Let's have another. So they're sort of grey and brown. They're really tiny little things, but they're raised. Oops. I'm going to put another one over there. So we have another brown one over there with one grey one. So I can have another long one, because the long one's quite good, isn't it? There we go. So there we are. We just got our little attention to details there. So there's our happy birthday sea escape card tonight using and this is the one I was copying. It's the one I started off with, so don't think it's too bad. I think it's quite similar. I quite like. It's a shame you can't see the white, because the white just gives it some sort of texture and sort of feel within the card. You can see the cloud a little bit, but it just looks like the sea is almost moving. You could go to town and making your scenes. I have got some other things cut out, so let's see. Where's the, I did have one with a bit of a brighter. I used what did I use for that? I think it, no, I don't think it was Pacific Point. I think it was yeah, it might have been actually. It's Pacific Point, and that was much brighter. And I've stamped and cut out a little while ago, and I thought, oh, perhaps these will go on this one. And this is the crab, so I thought we could have the crab on it, and I've cut out some of the shells and cut out some of the shells from, so some gold shells, some mussels, crab, perhaps our crab can sit in that. You know, so this sort of cutting out the these are from the papers. The crab is from the stamps, so you could pop something like that together, and you could have your happy birthday or thank you or best wishes on that bit. But I thought that was quite another idea that I'll pop together. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the, you know, by the time you've got that happy birthday, or what's the other one on there? Hello. Yeah, so you could put hello friend or something like that, couldn't you? Or hello friend. But these biggest wishes ones sort of fill it. So that's tonight's little offering. These are my spare bits, and I'll make this one up and show you what that looks like in the next couple of days. Looking forward to seeing those of you who can make the classes at the weekend. We've got a fun fold to do. We've got flowers. We've got seaside, and what else have we got? Oh, mystery. The third one's a mystery. I don't know quite what that is, but I do know I've prepped them already, because the next couple of days are busy. So I've already cut everything out. So I hope you all have a good week. I think I should be with you next week, and then I'll have it'll be at least 2 weeks off while this room is being decorated and revamped, so that I've got a better working space. Because at the minute I've sort of got, what is it, 40 centimeters by 25 centimeter space, which is virtually more than you can see, but not that much more. So have a good week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. God bless. Bye for now.